Welcome back. So it's never too late to find expression and joy. No one knows that better than Melanie Nolker, who's actually showing us how to use color in her paintings. So Melanie, you are hard at work right now creating just a beautiful masterpiece. This is something you actually started before you came in the doors, though.
Yes, it is. I decided to start it before I came in so that you could see me in the middle of the painting. I blocked it in. I start with an orange background, then I block it in with colors that are in underpainting, and now you'll see me putting the, not finishing touches, but the next stage on.
Okay, Melanie, we had a phone conversation about this, so what does it truly mean to be a colorist?
For me, what it means is that when people see my art, they respond to the color. That's what I respond to in art. That's what I'm really excited about in art. And I believe that I'm an expressionist in my color and an impressionist in my style.
Okay, and how do you actually paint with a knife?
I put the paint on here. I put several different colors at one time on my palette knife, and then I just lay it on very, very gently, and I let the canvas suck it right off of my palette knife. And if it's not the color I want, then I can go back in and do it again. And it just takes it right off. It's one of the most exciting things I've ever done with art.
This is so beautiful, and I can tell it's a lot of layers, and you really are getting that texture.
Yes, there's a lot of texture. There's bright colors, there's clean colors. I don't muddy my colors up usually. They're very clean colors, and so I think that people respond to the excitement of the clean colors.
Okay, so that is such a beautiful work. It looks like there's some trees going on. We might be in a forest.
Yes, I usually go up to Minnesota in the summers, and I fell in love with the birch trees up in Minnesota. And so I tend to paint a lot of nature. But I also paint portraits. I also paint still lifes. I paint 4 days a week. I paint in my studio at the Art House in downtown Overland Park. I also paint in Roland Park at Buena Vista Studio.
You're painting all over the metro.
I'm painting all over, and I just love it. I love that I found this later in life. It's just been a really wonderful thing for me to do this. So.
Now, you probably brought these because maybe they're favorites or they're works that you have for sale. Can you tell me what's going on in some of these pieces?
I actually brought these because I thought that they might fit on the set.
They fit, yes.
I did small paintings in December, and I was really excited to just do small paintings in December since it was such a busy month. I usually paint large, like this one over here, but I painted small in December. These are two of the small ones I did in December, and these were both done from travels that my husband and I have gone on. So.
Okay. Now let's talk about this. You mentioned to me you got started with the palette knife painting later on in life. What got you started?
My husband bought me this book called Watercolor for the Undiscovered when I was in my 40s. My family was all artists, and I didn't think I got that gene, so I just kind of turned that off. But then I got into that, and with the watercolor book, I watercolored for 10 years, and then I found out about palette knife painting and started taking classes in that, and just have never looked back. I love the palette knife.
Now, you've also talked about how you use colors of Monet. What does that mean?
The person that I took my classes from, she took classes from her father, and he took classes at this school out in California at the time. It was called the School of Monet, and they taught with the palette knife and the colors of Monet, and this is just beautiful colors that I paint with, and they're the same ones that she painted with, and I just really respond to these colors.
It's so bright and vibrant, and we can really see that. Now, you're working on the trees right now. What's going to be the next step?
The next step will probably be to refine these fields a little bit, and this blocked in area over here, make it feel grassy but in the shadows. But you can tell by my other paintings that I do retain a lot of my bright colors. So, but I wanted to let you see how I work on the trees, because the trees are pretty darn fun.
They are so fun. And Melanie, thank you so much for walking us through your artistic process.
Well, thank you for having me.
Bill?